most part, in the season. And you got to get someone to a certain degree that's going to a little bit forget about Khalil Mack. No one is, at this point, no one is going to forget completely about Khalil Mack, is because that's how talented he is. It's just the truth, you know. You're not going to get rid of, unless you get like Lawrence Taylor, but Lawrence Taylor is not in this draft class at all. So I still do think they go defense. I think they're going to go with Gary out of Michigan, and this stays with the whole defensive battle or defensive trend after Kyler Murray leaves the board, and they get it also themselves, an edge rusher. I'm going to go back again with the division. Look at the division. You got Pat Mahomes that's out there. Very mobile quarterback. You got to think Denver, at some point, Denver is probably going to get it right at the quarterback position. They got Joe Flacco right now, but obviously we know that's just a stand-in, spot. You got Phillip Rivers. He looked like he probably could play another 2-3 years, at a high level as well. Those quarterbacks aren't going anywhere, especially Mahomes. Mahomes is the one I think everyone in the division is trying to gear themselves towards, because obviously he's the youngest and he's going to be around the longest, if barring any injury or anything. So, again, another edge rusher, Rashawn Gary out of Michigan, goes at number 4, if you ask me. And that's not being biased or anything like that, because he's a Michigan guy or anything. I just really do think that he probably will be the right fit for what they're going to do. And Mayock and Gruden threw everybody out, so they're going to do this together, by themselves. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're at the 5 spot. They'll go linebacker. And I think Devin White will probably be the guy that they're going to look at out of LSU. He's more of that kind of like hybrid linebacker, kind of like Deion Jones for the Atlanta Falcons, and other guys that are not, how they say it, heavy in the pants, if you will, but his agility, his speed, and athleticism, getting back and forth, from sideline to sideline, will help him out. And I'm sure that he probably reminds them of another guy that I just spoke about with Derek Brooks, coming to that team, getting drafted in the second round after Warren Sapp. So Devin White, I think, will fall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is where it starts getting interesting. The number 6 pick is the New York Giants. And it's talk about what they could do. And there's two ways that this could go. 2 ways. If Kyler Murray gets drafted, Josh Rosen has already been linked to the Giants. Whether that happens or not, first off, Giants aren't giving up their first round pick for Josh Rosen. So you can give that up. But maybe they could give up a second or something like that to get Josh Rosen. But for me, I don't even think you entertain that if you have Dwayne Haskins still sitting there at the 6th spot. He has a big arm. I think he can handle the city of New York. I also think Eli's going to play another year. At least another year. Possibly 2. So you're not throwing them to the Wolves. You're not throwing them out there without a roster constructed as you want it to be. Dave Gettleman's talking about the culture and all that stuff is changing there. And they moved out Odell, and they moved out some other people like Olivier Vernon and He made the comments about, some people aren't there like they were. And he didn't say Odell. I know Odell took it, the heart that he was talking about him. He could have been talking about Odell. I don't know. But there were other guys there. Landon Collins, was there. And now he's not there anymore. So you are rebuilding this team. I don't care what Dave Gettleman say, as far as like talking about you can win, adding to the team and all that stuff. No, you're rebuilding. You can win, but can you compete? Is the thing, for a division, for a first round bye, to possibly get to the NFC Championship game. Those are totally different things. But I think that starts and they finally get the quarterback that they need to get, and that will be Dwayne Haskins, quarterback out of Ohio State. And groom him, let Eli show him the way, and get him right. I really do. And coming from a Michigan fan to speak that highly of Ohio State player of any magnitude, that takes a lot. So, but the guy is talented. Give him a shot. And don't go with the Josh Rosen. Not that Josh Rosen is a bad, pick. I just think you can groom this guy. You can, play him the way you want. Because Josh is going to come in and he's going to have the mindset of, I started last year. Why is Eli out there? If you're trying to, change the culture and you're trying to, groom in a certain way, bring in a guy like Dwayne who can come in because he's came into that situation before. He was at Ohio State and he didn't immediately start and he got his opportunity and then he showed people what he could do. And I think it could be the same way. He comes in there, he learns, and then he know he's going to get his shot and he's going to get his opportunity at some point, and then he will get himself into the game, and I think he'll be, all right. So, Dwayne Haskins is who I got. So, now we are getting almost to the end of this thing. The 7th pick, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted to say, for them to get a wide receiver, but at the 7th spot, again, I just think that is too high to go with a wide receiver at that point when you still got a lot of guys on the still available, so you could get yourself someone else. I am going to go to the offensive side though, and some people got the Hockenson from Iowa at the tight end spot, and we know how Nick Foles, is a guy that goes downfield. And he uses his tight end, but, there was a comparison about how when Carson Wentz was in there, he used Zach Ertz a lot more than other team or than Nick Foles would, and Nick Foles would go more downfield. So they got some nice wide receivers. Are they the complete answer? Probably not. But they have some nice receivers. He can throw to them, but I think more than anything, he needs the time to throw. So offensive lineman, I think Jawan Taylor out of Florida would be ideal at that spot. So Nick Foles' biggest thing, and a lot of people are going to say RPO does help out Nick Foles. But the biggest thing is for him to be able to have time, and when he have time, he can make the right decisions. When you don't have time, pretty much like any other quarterback, you're going to make bad decisions. But he is not, Aaron Rodgers or anything. He is mobile, and he can roll out the pocket, and I think he still will be good for Jacksonville, but he needs someone that's going to be able to protect him at this point. Now, obviously, people will be like, well, what about the outside? Again, you got Darius Leonard out of Indianapolis, and I'm looking at the divisions that they play in. You got Clowney and J.J. Watt in that division as well. And I don't forget, and the Tennessee Titans, that has a pretty good overall defense as well. You need to protect them. You got a new quarterback, and that was your thing with Blake Bortles is that, one, Blake wasn't as accurate. I don't think he went downfield as much. They didn't trust him going, throwing the ball, I don't think. And to throw the ball, you need to have time. So go with offensive linemen. So Jawan Taylor out of Florida going at the 7th spot. So we'll see what happened, with that. Now, here we are. The number 8 pick. My Detroit Lions. I'm not going to draw this out, but I've talked about ad nauseum how if Detroit had a run game, this would be a different team. I've talked ad nauseum, about coaching. I've talked ad nauseum about other things. But more than anything on this team that you have to have, and when they've had it, they've had success. They still need to go with the running game. You got Kerryon. They signed C.J. Anderson and all that stuff. You still got to get another running back, but that's later. You have to get to the quarterback. I was having this conversation a few days ago with someone that was a Packers fan, and they were asking me, what do you need if you're a Lions GM? And I'm plain and simple. You need a edge rusher or someone just someone on the line that can disrupt and get to the quarterback. Again, I'm going to point to the division. Every quarterback that's in the NFC North is a mobile quarterback. Every quarterback can roll out of the pocket. Every quarterback can run downfield. You got Mitch Trubisky out of Chicago. You got Kirk Cousins. I don't care, his record or anything like that, but he is a mobile quarterback, and you got that problem up in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, who could be under this new system, be a new and improved Aaron Rodgers as well, and he's already a problem just improvising. He has killed us twice with Hail Mary passes, just being mobile. You have to get a player that can get to the quarterback. Now, Ed Oliver is out there at this point. You got Josh Allen out there as well, and excuse me, and you have Montez Sweat that's out there. Out of the three that I think I like Ed in the middle, but I'm gonna go with the edge with Montez Sweat, and the reason is that you didn't sign Ziggy Ansah to a new deal. He's out there. I think he's visiting with the Ravens either today or tomorrow. So you probably will take him back, but it'll have to be at a discounted rate. And you already signed Trey Flowers, which was your big free agent acquisition. So you want to put someone opposite of him, and you want to have your bookend edge rushers on this team. So I think Montez Sweat out of Mississippi State would be ideal and cause havoc. Get to the quarterback. Meet me at the quarterback. Because if you got one side, both sides, you got a recipe for success. So now we're at the number 9 spot. Number 9, Ed Oliver is still out there along with other people. DK Metcalf, the monster DK Metcalf is out there. But a lot of people think the Denver Broncos possibly could go quarterback, but not the Denver Broncos, the Buffalo Bills. They're not going to go quarterback. A lot of people could think they go edge rusher as well, but Josh Allen, we know he has a cannon and he can go downfield, but you can't do that every single time. And I think you give him a little help on the offensive side to start with, and you go with TJ Hockenson, tight end out of Iowa. You give him an outlet. You give him a safety valve. The Buffalo Bills, they just signed TJ Yeldon, and they got LaShawn McCoy. You're still going to have to address that running back situation. You're still going to have to address your wide receivers. You still got a lot of stuff that you need to address. But one thing that you can do, help your quarterback out. Someone that got a big arm, so they're not trying to go downfield the entire time. Get them a quality tight end, someone that they can, build a rapport with, get the short yardage or get the tough yardage across the middle. and then build around that. We've seen what George Kittle did this past year for San Francisco. I mean, to me, I think helping out Josh